everyone, welcome to Cooking Beautifully. What are you cooking today? Today I have Justin here.
Hey.
I have a question for you. Have you heard of a dish called lion's head?
I have not.
It's my favorite Shanghainese dish. It's actually meatball and cooked with napa cabbage in a stew. There are plenty of ways to cook meatball, and I wonder if you're going to create a meatball dish, what would you do?
Definitely. So I think today I want to use a little Korean chili paste, some gochujang, and that'll kind of be our main flavoring.
Oh, sounds good.
With that, we'll do a little ginger and a little garlic. And for the meatball itself, I want to use a little bit of beef and a little bit of pork. Pork's just going to help give that nice texture, have a little fat content to it, and really make a nice juicy meatball. Kind of have traditional ingredients of breadcrumbs and egg. We're going to add something a little different. We're going to add some non-fat dry milk powder. That's going to kind of absorb some extra moisture and make creaminess to it, kind of bind it together and make a nice solid meatball. And then the last thing, I always like to grate a little raw vegetable into the meatball. What that does is that when the meatball actually cooks, the raw vegetable cooks, releases its moisture, and actually adds some moisture to the meatball, so you get a nice moist meatball.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Will you do me a favor? Will you grate the Korean radish? And while you grate that, I'm going to start adding our ingredients to the bowl. All right, so we're going to add our beef to our bowl. And this is just a 80-20 blend, so 80% lean and 20% fat. And some ground pork shoulder. All right. And we'll go ahead and add in our gochujang paste. So once again, this is a Korean chili paste. And it's spicy and salty. Got a lot of umami in there too. And we will add our grated Korean radish. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And then we have a little bit of ginger and garlic. Perfect. And our scallion can go right in. And we just slice those scallions thin. We'll put our egg in. And we'll sprinkle in our milk powder. This is going to kind of bind it together. And then we're going to mix that together with our hands. And it'll feel a little moist at first, but once we add the breadcrumbs, it'll tighten it up and make a nice firm, ballable piece of meat. And you see it's a little wet, a little sticky right now, but we're going to add in our panko breadcrumbs. We'll add a little bit at a time. We might not need all of it. Just want the breadcrumbs to soak up some of that extra moisture, tighten it up. And it looks like we're going to need all of it. All right, add the rest. Yeah, this is feeling good.
Looking great. Smells amazing.
It does. All right, let's start balling out. What we're going to do is we're going to use an ice cream scoop, and that's just going to help us get a nice even size. So what we'll do is we'll take our ice cream scoop, we'll just level it off. So that's like the perfect size meatball. All right, and then Melissa, will you roll that?
Yeah.
So what we like to do is take a little bit of water, and you just wet your hands slightly with a touch of the water, and that just makes a nice even ball on the outside. And you want them nice and round, and we're going to place them onto a sheet pan with a rack, which is going to help to get nice even temperature all the way around. So let's go ahead and ball out a couple more here. Nice leveled off scoop. And Melissa's going to roll them, and they're going to roast, and we're going to cook them all the way through. And in the meantime, while we do that, we'll make our glaze. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of homemade beef stock. If you don't have homemade, store-bought's okay. And if you don't have beef stock or you can't get beef stock, chicken stock works well. And in a pinch, even water will work for this. So we're going to add our beef stock to our small pan. We're going to turn our heat on, and we can bring it up to high because we're going to want to bring this up to a full boil. So, going to add in our cider vinegar. We're also going to have a little bit of honey for some sweetness. Our gochujang. And we want to bring all of these ingredients up first. Whisk it together. Then, in our bowl, over here, we're going to add our cornstarch. And we're going to liquefy our cornstarch with a little bit of cold soy sauce. So with cornstarch slurries, you want to make sure that your liquid is cold when you add it to cornstarch, or else you'll get lumps. So we're just going to whisk all that together, and we'll add that to our pot, and that's going to thicken it up. So you want to make sure that none of the cornstarch settle to the bottom of your slurry. And once you're at your boil, so we're just about there. All right, now we're going to add in our slurry, a little bit at a time. Don't go all in at once, or else you could find that it could get too thick. But we want it to be fairly thick because it's going to coat the outside of our meatballs. We'll go a little more. All right. You want to kind of keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Turn our heat down a little bit. I'm just going to cook that starch out for a minute. And once it's come to a full boil, we're going to shut it off. Stir it up. It should be nice and thick. It should be able to coat the meatball nicely. So we'll give it a little taste.
Justin, I'm hungry. Are the meatballs ready?
I think they're ready.
Let's check it out.
Let's grab them.
Ah, look at them. Ooh.
Ooh, yes.
Wow. I love the color.
Yeah.
Wow, so bright.
So you just want to touch them, make sure that they're firm. You know, you can eat one too, make sure they're cooked all the way through. But
Ooh.
I think they're ready.
Squishy.
So let's toss them into our bowl. We'll toss them with our gochujang glaze, and we'll plate them up.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Just put them into there. We want to gently toss them just because they are pretty delicate. So, all right, we'll do some of our glaze.
Wow.
All right. Oh, yes.
Wow. Huh. Looking
Good.
great.
We're going to put them into our bowl. And these would go great on a bowl of noodles or something like that. Or
Wow,
just
I can
as
imagine.
a
Yes.
little appetizer. Okay.
Beautiful.
Now let's just toss them. Will you put a little sesame seeds on top?
Absolutely. My pleasure. Wow, the color, huh? Looks so delicious.
Yeah, you could serve them with toothpicks for your party. Be great.
Wow. Can't wait to try.
Yeah.
Wow. Spicy, juicy, so moist. Wow. This
Really good.
is, wow, a scoop of deliciousness right there. If you love gochujang, if you love meatball, must try this recipe. Remember to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for choosing Cooking Beautifully, where memories are made.